And welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada, right in the capital city of the province of British Columbia. I hope everybody is having an awesome week so far and an awesome year so far. Welcome everyone. Welcome Preeti, hi Kyber, nice to see your members in this class. This is a members chat class, everyone. You need to be a member to use the chat. If you're not a member, that's absolutely fine. There's lots of great skills and strategies to learn from this class. And we will have an all chat class coming up in 90 minutes that will focus on the IELTS listening section where everybody will be able to join the chat. To become a member of our channel, simply click the join button next to the subscribe button on our channel page. If you do not see that, you can send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com and we can give you further instructions on what to do to become a channel member. Hi, I'm Rinder. Hi, Kyber. Good to see everyone. All right, students. So in this class, we are looking at IELTS Speaking Part 3 of the speaking section. This is the more challenging part with questions that are specific to a topic following from Part 2. And we will be doing some training for those high band scores, even that band 9. So get yourself ready. We'll be doing lots of speaking in this class. I will be reaching out to our members for some voice calls. Everyone, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Visit us there for the general IELTS. Check us out at gieltshelp.com. On both of these websites, we have tons and tons of help for you to improve all parts of your IELTS exam, including the speaking, the listening, reading, and writing. All you have to do is click this big red button to join our premium IELTS package that has tons of HD videos, lots of practice exams, and a fully interactive course. And this is our academic IELTS website here with the blue background at aehelp.com. Again, just click that big red button. It's a one-time payment. For lifetime access, it doesn't cost a lot, especially not compared to your IELTS exam, so it's well worth using the premium package with all of the materials, all of our strategies. We help thousands of students every single day. Welcome, Andre. Good to see more of our members hopping in on this session. That's fantastic. We will use this website as well for our IELTS speaking today. There's a chat interface where you can speak with other IELTS students from around the world for free. So it's great to use the site. You can try it for free by clicking this green try demo button. So give it a shot and improve your English, improve your communication. Students, for our apps, get academic IELTS help, get general IELTS help. Those apps will link to the website so you can study from the same account. You can follow us on Instagram, IELTS_AEhelp and GIELTS help. Our Instagram accounts have lots of vocabularies, videos, skills, tips, our live schedule, so check that out. You can get our books from Amazon, AEhelp's Academic IELTS and GIELT's General IELTS. You can get our exam books in paperback or digital versions. All right, everyone, so right now speaking for our members, then listening for everyone today. Tomorrow we'll have writing and reading, and then we'll have more writing and speaking on Saturday. So for now, let's kick off this class by getting into IELTS Speaking Part 3. And we do have practice videos with first-person kind of perspective in our premium IELTS course on our website. I'll give you a look at those a little bit later to practice in this way. So IELTS Speaking Part 3 follows from Speaking Part 2, so you have to make sure that you connect your answers to your Part 2 response. In speaking Part 3, again, just the same as what we practiced yesterday, you want to make sure that you can answer, give an explanation, and give an example. Okay, that's your goal always, all right? And as I just said, you want to connect to your Part 2. Now, we haven't done Part 2, but you can imagine members that you had, and then you can connect to your Part 2. So connect to your Part 2, like you can say things like, as I had mentioned previously, okay? So you want to have those strong connections, all right? Use numbers. So quantify your ideas. Okay, if you say that there are many people in the world who use computers, say there are millions of people around the world that use computers every day. Okay, so quantify your ideas. All right, it's very, very important. Okay, so let's get right into it. Let's just start practicing. We'll do one question together, and then I'll start reaching out to some of our members. I'd really like to give our members a good chance to practice today because you're supporting us. We want to support you as well. So imagine that you are sitting in your IELTS exam, and you finished your Part 2 cue card. And the examiner says, okay, that is the end of speaking Part 2. We will now begin speaking Part 3. For this part, I will ask you some questions related to your response and to the topic of Part 2. Let's begin. And then they'll introduce the topic like, let's talk about success in life. Okay? And they'll ask you a question. Don't think it's strange. Sometimes students are like, oh, that was such a strange question. Well, it's an IELTS exam. They're imagining these situations, so it can be any kind of question. So here we go with this first question. Which do you think contributes more to a person's success? Hard work or natural ability? Give a nice full sentence answer to this question. Excuse me, and a frog in my throat. So give a nice full sentence answer and make sure to use the question in your response. Okay, so I believe I'm going to give an answer here, and we'll wait for the members to give an answer as well, and then we'll compare. Okay, so I believe that giving much effort in life is more critical in overall success than simply having an innate affinity for a certain task. I mean that a person who practices playing the piano 12 hours a day will certainly be better in a few years than a talented pianist who just practices for half an hour daily. In fact, my cousin Anne is a perfect example of this. She isn't very talented in piano, but after lots of hard work, she has become very good. Okay, let's fix that. All right. So there's my answer with my explanation and my example using the question and paraphrasing as well. Okay, here we go, students. So this is speaking. So again, as always, I ask you to speak and repeat. So copy what I say, okay? And copy the questions, not just the answers as well, okay? Some repetition work is always good to build some fluency and some accurate language. So here we go. Repeat after me. Which do you think contributes more to a person's success, hard work or natural ability? I believe that giving much effort in life is more critical in overall success than simply having an innate affinity for a certain task. I mean that a person who practices playing the piano 12 hours a day will certainly be better in a few years than a talented pianist who just practices half an hour a day. In fact, my cousin Anne is a perfect example of this. She wasn't very talented in piano, but after lots of hard work, she's become very good. Okay. All right, Kyber says, I believe that hard work leads to a person's success more than natural ability, as they say that hard work beats talent, as well performing multiple tasks in less time assists an individual in determination and discipline in the future. When I was in school, I was covering all the book syllabus in less than a week, as I'm applying this way in my accounting exams as well, which works the best for me. Okay, Kyber, it's a little bit confusing what you're saying, and be careful when you say, as they say, hard work beats talent. I mean, who says that, right? I'm not sure. I don't know if that's clear for the listener, okay? Bandita says, I believe hard work plays an important role to achieve success more than inborn qualities. Even though an individual has the ability to succeed, if they do not put in an extra effort, they will have a hard time to achieve goals in life. Okay, so Bandita, I made a few corrections there. Notice those corrections. All right. Good. Okay. All right, that's a great start, members. Okay, so let's practice a little bit, okay? And now I'm going to show you what you need to do to connect with me, okay? And practice your speaking part 3. If you have questions, you can ask me, all right? So members, I think many of you already know this, but let me explain this in detail. And this is to all of our viewers. So members, if you're not volunteering to practice your speaking, I will open it up to other viewers as well. So I highly encourage you to volunteer. So to volunteer for speaking, follow these steps, okay? First of all, register a free or a paid account at aehelp.com, all right? So again, what you need to do is you need to go to our website and you need to click on either this red or this green button and then fill out your information, and then you'll have access to your My Student account. Your My Student account is up at the top there. It's this blue button. So once you have your account, click on that. Click on your My Student account. And then in your My Student account, if you're on mobile, it will kind of look like this. And you'll see this blue button, this Student Partner Speaking. So you want to click on that. If you want to book a full speaking interview practice with me, you can do that by clicking that yellow button. Okay, and then we can set up a time to do a full speaking interview. Of course, that's a paid service. But for now, just use this blue button. That's for everybody to practice speaking with each other. Okay, so you click on that button, and then you click this I accept pop-up. It basically means that you're going to be responsible for your behavior and you're going to be polite. Okay, you can read it if you'd like, of course. So click on that. And then you will be redirected, and you're going to see lots of people in here. Wow, that's incredible. So there's already a lot of people in here who are interacting with each other. They're using this chat. And you see this kind of blue envelope that's there. When you click that, you can send me a message saying, I'd like to volunteer. And then I can practice speaking with you as an example and analyze your speaking, give you a band score estimate, tell you what you can do to improve your score. Okay? All right. Preeti, I'm not sure why your first half answer is not showing. Maybe something on your end that wasn't my doing. It's definitely YouTube on your end. Okay, so again, just to sum up what I've said for the instructions. So volunteer, register a free paid account, free or paid account at aehelp.com. Log into your My Student account. Okay. Click on Student Partner Speaking. All right. Very, very, very important, students. Enable your microphone in your browser. Okay. All right. Keep the window open and then message me in the chat. I want to volunteer and I'll ping you back. Okay. So let's do this. All right. And Cass says, hey guys, I can't participate right now because I'm still at work. All right. Well, Cass, good luck at work. Yeah, don't get in trouble at work for extracurricular activities. Okay, so let me put my headset on. Now this is a members chat class, so firstly I'm looking for members, but of course we do have those all chat classes where everybody can volunteer. Okay, so we've got lots of volunteers. I see that Bandita here, one of our members, is ready to volunteer. So Bandita, let me send you a message and then we'll do this, okay? So, are you ready? All right. Bandita is now a member for, I believe, about a month, right, or so, Bandita, which is great. Okay. Hi, Bandita. I can hear that you picked up. Can you hear me? I can't hear you yet. Not sure what's going on there on your end. I think maybe something with your microphone. I did hear it though. I did hear some feedback. No, I can't hear you, Bandita. Check your microphone. I'm not sure why that is. I heard it ringing. I heard you pick up. I heard some feedback, and then I didn't hear anything. Okay. All right. Let's try Bakrat. He's a longtime member. So, okay, Bakrat, are you ready? All right. So again, students, if you're not able to link up with me right away, that's not the end of the world. It's fine. We can try again after. So just check your mic, maybe check with another student, one of your other members, to make sure that it's working. Okay. Just checking to see which of our members are linked in here. Okay. See which of our members. Hi, Bakrat.
Hi again. How are you?
I am doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Excellent. Do you have anything planned for the weekend?
Not yet. My new semester classes started just 2 before. So actually, I'm really busy. So
Okay.
after this class, I'll be go for to complete my assignments.
Okay. Busy is good, Bakrat. Busy is good, as long as you like what you're doing. It's good. All right. I will ask you a part 3 question, Bakrat, and then as you have learned, give me a full sentence answer, and I'll give you some feedback, okay?
Okay.
All right. So here we go. Let's talk about success in life. How do you define success in life?
Well, Life may might define as being fulfilled, happy, safe, healthy, and loved. It is the ability to reach goals in life, whatever those goals may be.
Can you give me an example?
Yeah. Um, uh, let me think. Uh, yeah. So, a person that I know who's very successful in life and enjoying their life with their family is one of the entrepreneurs uh, of India who hold a company named Fast.com. And uh, one thing I noted from that, he's very disciplined and yeah.
Okay. Do you think a rich person? Okay, good, good. All right, so we'll stop there and I'll analyze a little bit of your response. Okay. So first of all, I think your band score would be about 5.5 to a 6, Bakra, right? In order to bring up your band score, you definitely need to work on your fluency. It doesn't mean that you have to be really fast, but you definitely have to be a bit faster, so not so segmented. And I can tell that you're thinking a bit, and in that, in part 3, that's normal because the questions are a little bit trickier. So there's
Yeah.
two ways to increase your fluency, Bakrat. One is, of course, to just practice speaking a lot more. So, and you're doing that. So you come to these classes. I hope you're using the chat with other students as well, and you're practicing. And then to always focus on improving the parts of the information that will help a lot with fluency as well. So practicing and paying a little bit more attention to what you're saying improves fluency, right? So practicing improves your ability to use English words faster, and practicing the content, so what you're actually saying, helps you to think faster. Do you get what I mean? So one side of
Yeah, yeah.
fluency is faster English, the other side of fluency is faster thinking, right? So I asked you, how do you define success in life? And I think you started really well. So you said, and you kind of were thinking there. And those ums and ahs are okay because it takes a minute, and those are called natural fillers. The beginning was a little bit awkward, the grammar. So you said, like me, define. What you simply want to say is, I define. I define it as. Okay? I define it as being fulfilled, happy, safe, and being loved. Okay? And I think that was good. So I think that I think that you got that. And then you said it is the ability to achieve goals in life, whatever those goals may be. I think that's fine, but I think that between these two parts, you could have had a better explanation. So what do you think it means? Let me give it to you this way. What do you think it means to be fulfilled in life? So when is a person fulfilled in life?
Uh, Maybe he have no worries about anything.
Okay, now, yeah, I get you, but you want to be more specific. So think about um, the real world. Okay, when you're thinking about explanations, always try to think about how would you explain this to a child so that a child could understand it, like a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old child. Okay, so being fulfilled means that they do not want more objects or they do not want more experiences because they are happy with their current situation, right? So, when we're explaining that, we could say that a person is satisfied with their job, with their education, with the amount of money that they have. That's fulfilled, right? So here I would say something like, I mean that a person is successful, right? Use the question when they like their job, they have a wife and kids, and they make enough money to cover all of their daily needs. Okay, so I think that kind of an explanation is more real world. Do you see what I mean by that?
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
Right? So it's kind of like this is where visualization is very important. You remember all those lessons where I say visualize, visualize, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you want to do. So you want to visualize that fulfilled, happy, safe person. Okay, so now it's looking much better, and then you want the example. Your example was good too. You said, yeah, I said, can you give an example? It's a very common question in part 3. So in part 3, if you're not giving an example, very often the examiner will say, can you give me an example, or can you give me a case that proves this idea? So you'll often hear the examiner ask you that. And so you said, yeah, I think, yeah, there's a person I know who is very successful and is enjoying their life with their family. He's an entrepreneur. And then you went a little bit too far, in my opinion. I think you could have just kept it simpler, right? So you could have said, yeah, I think a person that I know is very successful and is enjoying their life with their family is an entrepreneur, John. Okay, he makes 100 grand a year and has 2 lovely daughters. Okay, so keep it a bit simpler. Now, the reason your explanation has to be clear, like what I just showed you, is because that makes it much easier to come up with a specific example. So your example is always a reflection of your explanation. So a person who likes their job, John's an entrepreneur. A person who is happy, they have a wife and kids, John has 2 lovely daughters. A person who makes enough money to cover all their needs, John makes 100 grand a year. Do you see how the explanation and the example just relate to each other like that?
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to connect it at the end, and I suddenly distracted.
Yeah, so again, that's what comes with practice, right? So this is what I mean by you practice English and then you practice content. And that those two together will create that fluency, right? So this is for everybody. Don't just focus on your English, but always focus on content as well. Okay, let's do this together, Bakrat. So I'm going to read the question, the response, and then you copy the response after, okay?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so how do you define success in life? Well, I define it as being fulfilled, happy, safe, and being loved. I mean that a person is successful when they like their job, they have a wife and kids, and they make enough money to cover all their daily needs. It's the ability to achieve goals in life, whatever they may be. I think a person I know who is very successful and is enjoying their life with their family is an entrepreneur, John. He makes 100 grand a year and has 2 lovely daughters. How do you define success in life?
Well, I define it as being fulfilled, happy, safe, and being loved. I mean that a person is successful when they like their job, they have a wife and kids, and they make enough money to cover all of their daily needs. It is the ability to achieve goals in life, whatever those goals may be. I think a person that I know who is very successful and is enjoying their life with their family. He's a businessman. His name is John, and he makes 100 grand a year and has 2 lovely daughters.
That's beautiful. So, Bakrat, that's exactly what you want to do. So, if I heard you say that, I would be very comfortable giving you even a band 8, um, maybe even a band 9. Okay, so that's what you want to do. That's what you want to practice. Keep it up and use this function on the website to speak to other members and other students, okay, to practice these. All right?
Yeah, actually, I'm also practicing with uh, lots of others speaking partner. I'm
Perfect.
basically focusing on my fluency.
Perfect. Yeah, that's really, really good. And again, remember that fluency, 2 parts, right? 1 part English, other part content. Always analyze both, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, Bakrat. Maybe I'll have time to reach out to you for another question. I'm not sure, but definitely keep up the good studies, and we'll talk later, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, that was Buckrat, everyone. Members, give him an applause, thumbs up. Buckrat being very brave to be the first volunteer for today. All right, and I can see we've got some more of our members jumping in on the class. Hasna, also a longtime member of ours. Let's see if Hasna is ready for a question here. So, okay, are you ready? I think Hasna has been a member for a long, long time, maybe half a year or so. And Hasna's English has really improved, so let's try to reach out to Hasna. And I should have time for other members, so I'm looking, I see Bandita, I see you as well. I'll try again with you, again in a bit. Okay, and I see Amrinder's in here also, which is good. Okay, we've got lots of members in here, so I'll try to catch as many of you as I can. All right, I'm not hearing back from Hasna, so maybe Hasna got busy meanwhile? I don't know. Okay, so let's try Amrinder. Okay, let's see if Amrinder is ready. Pay attention, guys. Stay at your station because you never know when I'll be pinging you back once you've sent me a message. Could be at any moment. So Amrinder says, sir, I want to volunteer. Oh, by the way, for everybody who's watching, you'll find my alias under master. Okay. All right. For those of you using mobile phone, to send me a message, by the way, you might have to hit the enter button on your phone twice if you're using mobile. It's definitely a bit easier to use this kind of an interface on a computer than on a mobile, but you can use it on mobile as well. Okay. All right. Not sure what's going on with Amrinder. Let's check back with Bandita. Okay. Bandita, let me see if I can call you again. Okay, are you ready? All right, we've got a little bit of a delay, I think, in real time, about maybe 5 seconds. Yes, okay, so let's see if Bandita is here. Okay. Hi, Bandita. I still can't hear you. Not sure what's going on there. Make sure you test the system with another person. Some countries, students might have also internet firewalls and things like that, so you want to check there. Bandita, I just hear silence on your end, so check out the system. I think it's worked for you before, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but check your setup, okay? Test it out maybe a bit later. All right, yes, all right. Okay, let me try Jihane. I believe Jihane, yeah, is a member of ours as well. Okay, so are you ready? Again, to become a member of our channel, everyone, just click the join button. So Jihane says, hi, Adrian, please, I want to volunteer. Okay, Jihane. Let me see if I can ping you. I do see you. Let me see if I can call you. I'm not sure. Maybe it's something with the chat here. And again, students, make sure you're only using the system if you're available. Don't do it during work or while you're driving or something like that, okay? Okay, Jahane's not picking up. Let's see if we have any other members here that I can reach out to. Okay. Oh, let's see Hasna here. Okay, Hasna says Hasna's ready. Hello, Hasna.
Hello?
Hi, Hasna.
Hello, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm good. And you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Hasna, do you have any plans for the weekend?
Not really. I'm planning to watch movies.
Some R&R? Do you know what that means?
No.
It means rest and relaxation. So oftentimes in English, when we don't really have plans for the weekend, so I said, do you have any plans for the weekend? And you said, not really, just watch some movies. Oftentimes, a native English speaker will say, not really, just some R&R. R&R, maybe watching some movies on Netflix, right? So something like that. R&R means rest and relaxation. It's a nice natural expression. Okay, so do you have any plans for the weekend?
Not really. R&R.
Just some R&R. You have to add that part. Just some R&R.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we don't never just say R&R. We always say it in some way. Just some R&R, or I will have some R&R. Okay, so there has to be something preceding it. Okay, so that was just some natural everyday English. That would be just something for like part 1, but let's get into a part 3 question. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about success in life. Do you think a rich person is always a successful person?
The answer should be from my own, right?
Absolutely, because I'm asking about what you think. So, do you think a rich person is always a successful person?
That's a good question. Thank you for the question. But I think not always a rich person is a successful person because maybe they have a lot of debt for in their business and they need to have a lot of outcomes to their health or family issues.
Okay. All right. Kind of a tricky question, right? Okay. So I would probably only give you like a 5.5. I probably wouldn't give you a 6 for that, even though I really want to give you a higher band score because I can hear that you're fluent for a couple of reasons, okay? So let me break down your response in a lot of detail, right? You want to get, Hasna, you always want to give really good answers, all right? And this just wouldn't qualify as a good answer. So band 7 is good English, but it's not just good English, it's good communication, right? Band 8 is very good English or very good communication. Band 9 is expert. So it has to be sensible. And if your answer is kind of incoherent or non-sensible, then it's extremely hard to even get a band 6. Okay, so my question was, do you think a rich person is always a successful person? And then you asked me, at first you asked me like, should I give like my personal idea? Yeah, absolutely you should. In IELTS, there's a really interesting kind of false conception. A lot of students think that in part 3 you never include a personal example. I don't know where people get that from. There's no official textbook that says that. So IELTS doesn't say that. Okay? Even if some teachers or some classes are saying that, it's because they're spreading bad information that they got from a website or somewhere, I'm not sure. But if they ask you a personal question in part 3, like, do you think, the natural response to that is, I believe, or in my opinion, right? Did you hear that somewhere, Hasna, that in part 3 you can't include a personal answer or something like that?
No, because I only get resources from IE Help.
Oh, okay. All right, good. All right. That's why I wasn't sure why you were asking, because some people do ask me that. Some people are like, oh, I heard that you can't give personal examples. So this is kind of for everyone else then, that yes, you can give personal opinion in part 3. Okay, so especially if the question asks. Or the examiner in this case, okay? So you said, that's a good question. Thank you for the question. Please do not thank the examiner for the question, Hasna. That's really strange to do. I know that you're trying to be polite, but it's very awkward to thank a person for asking a question. I mean, you're paying a lot of money to be at this exam. You don't need to thank the person for asking you the question and doing their job, okay? I think there's maybe a little bit of lag between us. Can you still hear me okay, Hasna? Yeah?
Yes, I still.
Okay, yeah, so don't thank the person. It's really awkward, so don't be like, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak, or thank you for the question. Don't do that, okay? So saying that's a good question is okay, or that's an interesting question is okay, but don't thank them for the question. And then really clearly and accurately answer the question, okay? So that's a good question, and then really accurately answer. I don't think what's another way to say rich? Hasna, how can you say rich in another way?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. It starts with a W.
Wealthy person.
Right? See, you do know. So, I know your level of English, Hasna, and I know that you know a lot of synonyms, so always try to use them, okay? So when you're practicing at home and you realize, oh, I just repeated the same word, but I know another word, then always try to review and find the paraphrasing, okay? So a wealthy person, okay? So I don't think a wealthy person is a successful person because they might have a lot of debt. I kind of found that to be strange. Like, the question is a wealthy person, and then suddenly you're saying that they have a lot of debt. If they have a lot of debt, they wouldn't necessarily be considered wealthy. Okay, so that was a little bit confusing. I would probably go a different direction there because they might have a lot of other problems, which leads them to be unhappy, and I certainly believe that a fundamental definition of success is happiness, as I mentioned before, if we think about Bakrat's answer. And then you can say, as they may have a lot of health or family issues, right? Which was a good kind of ending there. A lot of health and family issues. Okay, so Hasna, I know that your level is higher, but for this particular answer, it wasn't very good. So you want to always try to really show your maximum English level for every single question, right? Thankfully, you're not judged by just one answer, okay? That's why it's a 12-minute interview, okay? All right, so let me ask this question again, give the answer, and then repeat after me, and we'll practice a little bit that way. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay, so do you think a rich person is always a successful person? That's a good question. I don't think a wealthy person is always a successful person because they might have a lot of other problems which leads them to be unhappy. And I certainly believe that a fundamental definition of success is happiness, as I mentioned before. They may have a lot of health or family issues. Okay. All right. So do you think a rich person is always a successful person?
That's a tricky question. I don't think a wealthy person is a successful person because they might have a lot of issues, which leads them to be unhappy. And I certainly believe that the fundamental definition of success is happiness. As I mentioned before, as they may have a lot of health or family issues.
Okay, very, very good. Much better, Hasna. So, as I mentioned before, when you're connecting what you just said, you have to deflect. So, as I mentioned before, as they may have a lot of health or family issues. So there's a break there between before. But otherwise, very, very good, Hasna. Okay, so keep up that practice. And Hasna, here's a trick, right? So if you're having a little bit of difficulty coming up with the exact answer explanation because the question's surprising, ask for a bit of time. Say, that's a good question, give me a moment. And then think about it. Okay, rich person, wealthy person, not really because they're not happy. So I don't think a wealthy person is always successful because they might have a lot of other problems and they're unhappy. Okay, so ask for that bit of time to put it together in your head, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, Hasna, have a good day, and I might speak to you before the weekend, but if I don't, then have some really good R&R on the weekend, okay?
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, you're very welcome. Bye, Hasna. All right, so that was our member Hasna. Give Hasna an applause. All right, let's try to reach out to somebody else as well. Let me try to reach out to Tatiana, our member. So let's see if I can reach Tatiana. Okay, Tatiana, are you ready? I can see that you're also chatting with me in the chat there. So, okay, so Tatiana's giving us lots of synonyms for a wealthy person, a well-to-do person, a mogul, a high roller, rolling in money. Very good. Yes, a prosperous individual. Prosperous could be someone, though, that's not necessarily wealthy with money, but with other parts of life. Okay, here we go, Tatiana.
Hello?
Hi, Tatiana. Tatiana, can you hear me okay?
Hello?
Hi, Tatiana. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yeah. Hello. Yes, I can. Sorry. I forgot to unmute my notebook.
Okay, all right. I was like, oh, I can hear you. All right, Tatiana, I'm glad we're able to connect. Good. Yeah, computers and all the settings that we have to pay attention to these days, right? All right, Tatiana, I'm glad we're... All right, and I can hear that you muted YouTube, which is good, so we're not getting feedback. Okay, Tatiana, so let me hop back to my questions here.
Of course.
All right. All right. Let's talk a little bit about happiness. Some people think success in life is simply to be happy. Do you think this is a fair judgment, or do you feel it's oversimplifying a complex question?
I believe it doesn't oversimplify a complex question. I think that being happy in life is enough. for defining success, because psychotherapists and psychiatrists define being happy as the highest success in life, because it equals mental well-being. It means that all your needs, both basic and needs for self-actualization, being loved, are satisfied. And this is why a person is happy. I can say that all of my friends who achieved their goals in life and have learned to be glad about little things in life, such as good weather or pets or bigger things such as children, are absolutely happy. And
Do you
they
think
are successful.
do you think an unsuccessful person can be happy?
It's a tricky question. I don't think unsuccessful people can be happy, because they will always feel that something lacks from their life. I mean that unsuccessful people may not have a happy, they may not have true friends or a loving family, or they, and most importantly, I think that unsuccessful people have not realized their potential. As long as
Okay, I'm going to stop you there.
Okay.
I'm going to stop you there. That was good. All right, that's great. So very nice, Tatiana. Very, very nice. Let me break down your score a little bit for you, okay? So you have some clarity, okay? All right, so I would probably give you anywhere from a band 7.5 to an 8. I would be leaning more towards an 8. So I personally would say, okay, I'll give Tatiana band 8. I think some examiners might give you a 7.5. And if you keep going really well and you're warmed up, and you might even get an 8.5. So your score is going to kind of flex somewhere between that 7.5, 8.5 range. I'll tell you why, okay? So I think your fluency is an 8 to 8.5. I think your coherence is 8. I think your grammar complexity is and accuracy is about an 8. I think your vocabulary, your lexical resource is a band 9, and I think your pronunciation is a band 9. Okay, so you're able to use some really nice vocabulary like self-actualization. You know some very specific words like psychotherapist, for example. You're doing a really good job of reflecting the question. So you said, I believe it doesn't oversimplify a complex question. That's really good. So of course you might be asking, well, Adrian, okay, where are my mistakes, right? Like what do I need to do to get that band 9, right? So a little bit more paraphrasing, like happiness. What's another way to say happiness?
Euphoria.
Euphoria, or even simpler would be joy, being joyful in life, right? So just
enjoying life.
Exactly, enjoying life, joyfulness. Even more kind of tangible representation, so smiling often, laughing frequently, you know, those words coming to mind. So people who are happy and are enjoying life, that laugh frequently, smile often, are definitely successful individuals, okay? So that could be a little bit, you know, that could help. If we cut to this, okay, and sorry, another mistake in the first question that I felt you made was saying you. So there was one part there where you switched to that second person. You said it means you can be this, you can be that. Really try to avoid the use of the word you, okay? For band 9, you want to either say a person or an individual. Avoid switching to second person voice, okay?
Yeah, I know it in theory.
Yeah. And then I asked you, do you think an unsuccessful person can be happy? So I gave you a follow-up question as well, and you said it's a tricky question. And then you went with, I don't think that an unsuccessful person can be happy, or I don't think unsuccessful people can be happy. That was good, right? It is a tricky question, and you could argue it both ways, but I like how you realize that, okay, I just have to decide on one side. It's not about the truth here. It's just about being decisive, deciding on one side and then going with that. So you said it's a tricky question. I don't think that an unsuccessful person can be happy because they will feel that something always lack from their life. There was a bit of grammatical inconsistency there. So do you want to try that again? That something always lack from their life is incorrect. What do you think the correct way is to say that?
They feel that.
It's just a bit of a grammatical mistake. You don't have to change it a lot, Tatiana. Something.
Probably something will always lack. They will always lack something.
Yeah, it's a tricky
life.
one. I know it's frustrating when you have that little bit of mistake. We use it in the ing form. Something is always
there
lacking.
will always be a lack of something.
Yes, and we usually use the progressive form in this case. So they feel that something is always lacking from their life because it's an always, so it's a continuous, always lacking.
Can we use future continuous here?
Yeah, you should be using the continuous here. Yeah.
I mean future continuous.
You don't need to. Present is better. So something is always lacking. You'll hear people say, "I feel like something is always lacking from my life." I'm not sure what it is yet, but I'm not self-actualizing, right? So something is always lacking. Okay, and the simpler way that you might hear it even more commonly is something is always missing from their life. Okay, missing is even more common, especially in North American English. Maybe British, I don't know, but it might be lacking. But in American Canadian English, we more often say it's missing from their life, okay? So that's kind of where an examiner would be like, okay, I can't give her a 9 because a 9 knows that element. So if you make that kind of mistake a few times, then the maximum that you can achieve is an 8.5. Are you with me on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so 9 is. I mean, it's very difficult. So it's a tricky question. I don't think that unsuccessful people can be happy because they will feel that something is always missing from their life, and then flow into something more tangible. I felt that was missing from your responses. Again, tangibles, and this is for everybody. Something that we can feel and touch and see and sympathize with, okay? Such as the love of their life, a pet dog, the perfect management position at work.
Rewarding job.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So more tangible. So again, so this is kind of, just give me a second here, Tatiana, because I feel this is missing from the other students that I spoke with as well. So focus on real life, tangible explanations and examples. So situations that the listener or the audience can sympathize with and visualize easily. Okay, that makes for really good communication. Okay, that's what we want to elicit. We want to elicit sympathy from our audience. So I'm going to ask. Yeah, right. So I'm going to ask you this question again and then read the answer, and then you can repeat after me, okay?
Yes.
So do you think an unsuccessful person can be happy? It's a tricky question, but I don't think that unsuccessful people can be joyful in life because they will feel that something is always missing, such as their big love, a pet dog, the perfect management position at work. They may not have true friends, so no. Do you think an unsuccessful person can be happy?
It's a tricky question. I don't think that unsuccessful people can be happy because they will always feel that something is missing from their life, such as the love of their life, a pet dog, a rewarding job, or a loving family. It will prevent them from feeling joy of life in life.
Okay, Good, very good. I would actually have finished with, it will prevent them from feeling truly successful, because it's the success that's the focus,
Oh,
right?
sorry, yeah. Successful.
Okay, good. So that's what you want to focus on, Tatiana, just fixing those small incongruencies, those small mistakes, and that's challenging to do. I know that. So when a person reaches your level of English, it's difficult to iron out those small grammatical mistakes. The way to do that, Tatiana, is just record yourself when you're practicing on your phone, listen back, and then try to catch those little mistakes and be like, oh yeah, okay, that's something different, okay?
Yeah, I will. Practice makes perfect.
It does, for sure. Thank you so much, Tatiana. Thank you for volunteering and for showing a great level of English.
The pleasure was mine.
All right, have an awesome rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so that was Tatiana, everybody, and that was a very nice level of English there. Everyone, I've run out of time digressing into these analyses, but that is okay. So, members, if I wasn't able to catch you today, please don't threat. I will get you the next time. So come back. I'll pay attention so I have an idea of who wasn't able to link up with me today. Okay, and for everybody else, make sure to join our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. The premium package on those websites is a one-time payment for lifetime access. It doesn't cost much money, so I highly, highly recommend it. It's some excellent training for your communication, of course, and for IELTS as well. I will be back in 30 minutes, everyone, with listening practice, part 3 and part 4. It's the listening exam that we started last week, part 1 and 2. So come back for that, and we'll fine-tune our active listening skills. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria for now, but I'll catch you all in half an hour. Bye, everyone.